Hi everyone, we just really wanted to welcome you to a day in the life of the Salesforce Supermums. We're with one of our Salesforce Supermums, Jo Matthews, who started the course in November last year and she finished it in April. So thanks so much for joining us.
No problem.
So keen just to catch up with you and just find out a little bit about yourself. So what were you doing before Salesforce Supermums?
So my last role, I was working for a finance company called ING Direct. I've been with them for about 8 or 9 years. And I worked in the marketing department. I was a market analyst, working on their sort of campaign side. So setting up campaigns and then analysing how successful they've been, and doing that kind of stuff.
Okay, brilliant. And what were you, how long ago was that?
Oh, that was a long time ago. So I finished working there 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I hadn't planned to. I had planned to go back to work, but I had my youngest daughter 6 years ago, and I went on maternity leave with every intention of going back to work afterwards. But whilst I was on maternity leave, I got bought out by another company.
Okay.
So everybody was made redundant. So kind of by default, I didn't go back to work, and I've been off ever since.
Okay, and how did you hear about the Salesforce Supermums course?
I heard through a friend of mine who was doing the course already. She'd already started it.
Okay, and what research did you do to see whether the Salesforce Supermums course was the right course for you?
Well, I would say I hadn't heard of it before, but another friend of mine, Sarah, she had recently started the Digital Mums course, which I know wasn't for me, but it was quite interesting. Similar thing, it's a course for 6 months, and then you get a placement. So I've been talking to her about that, and she was enjoying it. But like I say, I knew that wasn't quite the right course for me. So when another friend of mine told me about the Salesforce course, a little bit more data orientated, a little bit more up my street, yeah, it seemed like the right thing to do.
Brilliant. And do you think you need to have a data background to understand Salesforce?
No.
You can have any background?
No, I don't think you need to.
Okay.
I don't think you do. Maybe it helps, but I don't think you need to.
Yeah.
And I think the course covers everything that you need to do. You know, there's lots of admin. It's not necessarily about data. And I think the course covers everything. So.
Brilliant. And how long did it take you to decide to do the course once you heard about it?
Probably a few weeks, maybe a month or so. I knew I needed to do something because both my children were at school, and so I had all day I had to do something. I couldn't sit at home all day whilst they were at school, but at the same time I didn't want to work full time.
Okay, excellent. And I mean, with regards to doing the course, you were doing the November course, so your webinars for the November course were on a
Monday,
okay,
which was brilliant.
Oh, brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. And I loved the fact that there was structure to my life. So 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, that was it. You log on. It was normally between 2 and 2.5 hours. Sometimes I overran a little bit, but it was perfect. So we started the week doing the webinar. Cleo would set the homework.
Yeah.
We'd know, what was expected to be done by the following week. It was brilliant. I enjoyed it.
Excellent. How did you find it around, working and being a mum and fitting in the coursework?
It was great. It was great because both my children are at school. I have that time between 9 and 3 during the day. So I'd either do it then or I'd do it in the evening once they're in bed. And I try and do it by the end of the Friday. I tried not to do it at the weekends. Sometimes I get it done, sometimes I wouldn't. Some weeks I'd end up doing a little bit more than other weeks. Some things would take me longer, depending on whether I grasped them first time or not. But yeah, I would generally try and get it done by Friday. And if I couldn't do it during the day, I'm quite happy working in the evenings, and I would do it in the evening when the kids were at bed. Great. So it didn't affect my time with them at all.
Oh, perfect. And did you find the timings with regards to how long they said certain things would take was quite accurate?
Most of the time. I think there was the odd, I really struggled with the security week. Really struggled with that one. So I did end up doing quite a lot more hours that week. But that was just something I didn't grasp it. I struggled with that one. But there were other weeks where maybe I would do it 1 or 2 hours shorter.
Okay.
But within a couple of hours, it was pretty much spot on.
Okay. And how did the journey go for you? Because obviously you had a long career break. So how did you find the 6 months knowledge?
If I'm honest, I enjoyed the structure.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed having something to work to. I quite like lists. I like to know what I've got to do. So, we'd be given a list of you need to do this week. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed the satisfaction of being able to cross things off my list.
Yeah.
I've achieved something. And I really enjoyed the learning. I've enjoyed being at home. It's been really good. And I wouldn't swap it. However, I missed using my brain and feeling like my own person and feeling like an individual. And actually this course helped me get that back.
Oh, brilliant.
Which was great.
And how did you find, from a confidence point of view, when you started your project experience, which was after you'd been doing the course for 3 months?
Terrified.
Yeah.
I was really nervous. And lots of the other people that I'd spoken to who'd already done the course had said that that was the best bit about the course, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. I was terrified of thinking that I wouldn't be able to do anything and I didn't know anything, but actually I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I did. It was brilliant. And within sort of 2 weeks of starting, I could see how everything we'd learned on the course was all coming together and how you could put it into practice in a work environment.
Oh, brilliant. And how did you find, because I know, you know, one of the most daunting things with regards to doing the project experience when at the end, when you're delivering the training with the client, how did you find that? Because I mean, the training's all done virtually, so you do the course virtually. So, you know, how did you find?
Again, completely terrified. I remember coming up here, and I remember arranging the meeting, coming up here, and I'd written myself lots of notes, so I knew I had a structure, but I'd never trained anybody before, let alone virtually. I hadn't met the two ladies that I was training. But I think that I realised that actually I knew more than they did. And even if I couldn't answer their questions immediately, I knew that I would be able to, and even if it was through the Salesforce community, do you know what I mean? Through the community, I'd be able to find the answers and get back to them. So after about 5 minutes of panicking, it was fine.
Oh, brilliant. That's
They were very receptive. We went on a little bit longer, but I actually enjoyed it, which I never thought I would.
Oh, that's fantastic. And did you find, you know, when you're doing the training video, was it recorded or?
No, it wasn't.
So it wasn't recorded, so it was just live?
It was just live.
Okay.
But actually what I did at the end, because I'd written all these notes about what I was going to show them, I did send them my notes at the end.
Oh, brilliant.
Because it wasn't recorded. And I know it's quite hard to,
you
know, somebody tells you something once and it seems like it makes sense, but unless you've written everything down, sometimes you can't do it.
Yeah,
so
and it's just having it to refer back to, and also they have new staff joining the organisation, and they've kind of got that to look at and kind of share that with the other members of staff. So what are you doing now? Because you completed the course in April, so what are you doing now?
Very end of April, maybe beginning of May. So I'm working now for a company called Equinix.
Okay.
I've been there 3 or 4, maybe 4 months now.
Oh, brilliant.
And again, I was nervous about starting, but actually over the last few months my confidence has grown.
Brilliant.
And I'm now, I'm really happy there.
Well, that's great. And your role at Equinix, is that a permanent role, or is it, you know,
no, it was a 6 month contract, so until the end of the year, and it's I do 16 hours a week, so I do 2 days a week.
Perfect. And how those days was split with the
and again, they were very flexible.
Okay.
They didn't state which days or hours or anything. She just, you know, said, what can you do? So I go into the office on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Generally into Slough, but sometimes go up to London. And then the other day I split over a Wednesday and a Thursday. So I do 4 hours at home on a Wednesday, whilst the children at school, and 4 hours at home on a Thursday.
Oh, brilliant.
But again, they're super flexible. So the other week, last week, I went on a school trip on the Wednesday. So I just worked Thursday and Friday instead.
Oh, brilliant.
So they're amazing. They
that's fantastic.
Completely work around my family, which is great.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're looking for. And I think that's the whole thing with regards to doing why you do the Salesforce Supermums course, because you do the course virtually, and it's good to know that there are those opportunities out there when you finish the course that you can have that work-life balance. So with regards to, you know, this course, is it a course you'd recommend to other people?
Completely.
Oh, brilliant.
So I've already recommended it to one friend. She's finished the course, and actually within the last week I've recommended to somebody else who's kind of interested. But no, I definitely would. You know, I was very much in the mindset. I hadn't worked for a long time. I used to work full time, and I didn't think that I'd be able to go back into what I did before part time. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I never thought that I'd be able to find a part time job that makes me use my brain, that I enjoy.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that flexible with my family, you know.
Yeah, which is always the key. I think that's what a lot of us mums are looking for, something where we can have that flexibility and that can work around our family, but also to get our brains working again.
Exactly, and make you feel like yourself again. Yeah, which is brilliant.
Oh, fantastic. It definitely helps from a confidence point of view.
Completely. So I think if I hadn't found this course, I think I'd probably still be at home arming and ahhing over what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully everyone who's attending has enjoyed hearing Jo's story. If you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. More than happy to answer, you know, your questions and explain to you how the programs run. Our next course is starting on the 5th of November, and they will be on Monday mornings. So
yeah, brilliant. Mondays are good. It starts the week off nicely on Monday.
Yeah, and the nice thing with November is you start on the 5th of November, but you finish just before the Easter holidays. So it ties in really well with regards to...
Oh, that that was the other thing. Yeah, so the course didn't run in the holidays either, which was great.
Okay.
So the Christmas holidays and the half-term holidays, that there weren't any webinars. I mean, you could do extra work if you wanted to, but there was no pressure to.
Oh, fantastic, yeah. And also if you're falling behind in work, then you can kind of use it to catch up during the holidays. And I think it's kind of nice to know that when you are on holiday, you can relax.
Yeah.
You're not having to worry about how you're going to catch up from the homework. So it's really all designed around mums and, you know, creating that flexibility. So thanks very much.
Cool. Thank you.
Bye.